We're supposed to.
Stage and God's love is divine. Heaven is here, the real heaven is now. Love is the key, just turn it on and we'll soon find out. Heaven is here, the true heaven is now. Love lights it up and just to breathe is devout. Heaven is here, the real heaven is now. Love is the key, turn it on and let's find out. We're spinning our fields till they burn so bright. Turn on the body that is made of pure light. Tie it to love and just be with
All right.
God.
So,
You'll find everything.
I have a question.
unfold.
Have you guys flossed your MH370 tooth lately? Have you reviewed the footage?
Other than
Have you watched it?
the intro?
Okay, watch it. This thing is gonna jump to another dimension in like 3 seconds. Boom! There it goes. It's not in this dimension anymore. That was caught by a military satellite. It was leaked by this guy that went to jail. It was pretty well tracked. There's this guy named Ashton Forbes who will scream at you over a cocktail endlessly about this. I love him.
Multiple times a week.
You know what? I've learned more about the physics I wanted to learn about from him than I did from Eric Weinstein.
Yeah.
Eric Weinstein promised me geometric unity at least could occupy. I gave him like 15% of my brain. I'm like, just format it, man. Just we're not using it. You can just install it right there, and it'll be great. And dude, you watch Ashton Forbes for like 2 hours, and he'll like get you up to speed on probably what Eric is actually talking about. Like,
Or at least the elements of what is
yeah.
there.
You need some base. You know what? Maybe that's the focus for my cosmic GED for my first physics class. Just the physics you need for UFOs.
Yeah.
Just start there, back into other stuff. Dude,
back
Peter,
into whatever you want.
back into whatever you want. Be like, oh, you don't know what temperature is? We cover that.
Yeah.
It's crazy how people don't know.
Yeah.
Tell me what temperature is? What's temperature? Hit me.
Temperature.
Not you, college graduate. Hit me, Daniel.
The temperature?
Hit me with temperature. What's temperature, man? I'm sorry to put you on the spot like this. You're fucked. Hit me.
64 degrees outside.
Yes, you're nailing it. What does the 64 mean?
64 degrees above. Well, if it was Celsius, which is.
Oh, if it was Celsius above 0, that's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
you get. I'm accepting this. I'm accepting this as a partial answer.
Degrees, above 32
That's right.
degrees in Fahrenheit.
32
would
in
be above
Fahrenheit.
freezing. Below 32 would be. Yeah.
And the weird Fahrenheit scale. The weird Fahrenheit
is boiling
the weird-
point for water.
Yeah, man. The Fahrenheit scale starts at 32 for freezing water, and water boils at what? 218? 208?
I think
212?
I think it's
Yeah, right there.
210.
210? Okay, right in there. Look, think about how many degrees that is.
I don't know.
Just get it in your head.
Mhm.
32, 210. Now, Celsius, 0 and 100.
Yeah.
Are they measuring the same thing?
They're measuring the same thing.
212. There you go.
They are. They are measuring the same thing. I'm getting abstract. Sorry.
They're different units for measuring the same
Different units
gap
for measuring.
of-
That's right.
Just how there's like
of
feet
the
and meters.
different
And a unit
of
is something per something.
melting point and the boiling point of water.
That's right. That's right. And Celsius is far superior in this regard. 0 to 100, that's clutch. 32 to 218, what's your old crazy stuff?
Dude, it's Daniel's background, dude. It's just like,
Wah! Wah! It's a I love it. It's like swimming.
Yeah.
It's eyeball swimming.
Yeah,
It's third eye swimming.
It is. It's like a
Or eyeball
dream-based
swimming.
visual.
Dude, I want to make these backgrounds available to you guys. I got them in 12 gigabyte video files, like 4 gigabyte, 2 gigabyte, depending on how crazy you want to get, like how deeply you want to stare into the sun. Like we got different. Anyway, if we all had one of these or a version going, I think we'd run the internet. Here's what I'm saying: YouTube, government-funded deep state CIA, don't cut off those payments to my Google, but anyway, they are running a scam on the whole world with their free YouTube. See, they won't. They've blacklisted us. They won't let us. Well, don't blame anyone but yourself. But I have seen the effects of the thumb. The thumb, let's say. The thumb. So we're
The
thumbed.
finger, the thumb.
Thumb. There's a scale in life, and they're like, we're putting our finger on the thumb, and I'm like, you know, karma's real, right?
Finger on the thumb.
A finger on the thumb. You're getting fingers and you're getting thumbs. If life is a scale and you are putting your thumb on the scale, you are essentially changing a dynamic that would otherwise be you are adding your willpower. Your willpower is a boomerang.
You're
As you
asserting yourself.
sow, so shall you reap.
Every
Jesus was very clear on
action
this.
Equal and opposite reaction.
That's some straight physics.
Dynamics.
Okay. So your Celsius and your Fahrenheit are a something over a something, and they're all based on different things, right? Clearly, Celsius is based on some H2O magic because it matches the H2O like kind of perfectly. I think Fahrenheit has to do with amount of at one point it had to do with amount of movement of mercury in a tube over like add a certain amount of energy to this water and you can make the mercury move a certain amount. That was close to the discovery of temperature. It was right in there. They probably improved it. Did you guys know that the IS, the scientific, it's all they're trying to remove as many variables as they can from these measurements, so that you could essentially be like an AI born in a womb of completely empty space, and you'd only have the physical universe in front of you, and you could get to the same measurements. Because it would be completely universal, be like the speed of light kind of stuff. First off, that cat's awesome. All right, so what's temperature? What is temperature, man?
Well, a temperature is a unit. It's a feeling, right?
Hooked on a feeling. I don't believe it. Ba, ba, ba. Yes.
It's a
Okay,
feeling
so
of the energy in the objects around you, kind of.
do you guys know Avogadro's number?
Yeah.
Nope.
Hit me with Avogadro's number. 10.0
6 times
10.023 times 10 to the 20 6.023 times 10 to the 20 negative 23rd.
Yeah.
You're- Great.
Something like that.
What does it mean? What's Avogadro's number?
The number of the mass of an atom, something like that.
Number of atoms in a
Number-
kilogram.
Number of
Like standard kilogram.
Yeah.
I think.
Number of
I should warm this up before I spin it on the internet.
Avogadro's number. Here,
Okay,
you
so
got
check
it.
that shit out. That is 6.023 times 10 to the 23rd particles. And the last time I did some chemistry was in AP biology in high school. But you can add and multiply essentially chemical equations using this number because you were essentially adding counted numbers of atoms, right?
Right.
This number of atoms in a
Avogadro's
molecule,
number is the number of particles in 1 mole of a substance.
Mole.
Yeah.
mole of substance. And then a mole is,
A mole is.
this is so awesome. Dude, I'll give you the short answer on temperature, Daniel, I swear to God. But first off, these cats are nice and next level. While he's hitting mole, what temperature is every single molecule is vibrating. Absolute zero is the temperature at which theoretically molecules stop vibrating, but it's a theoretical. They can't even find it in space. You can quantum computers, they pull gas out so fast out of a space that it cools it down to like these temperatures you can't even get in space. Like if you put some of our quantum computers in space, it'd
they
be
pull a
too
vacuum
hot.
on it, and so the particles are so far apart. Essentially,
It's the void.
particles bouncing off. Yeah, it's the void. The particles hitting each other more often equal an increase in temperature.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's actual fucking collisions of atoms,
yeah,
dude.
It's
like
collisions of particles.
Ah! Collisions of particles.
So a
Particles,
mole,
yeah.
Paul, is
Particles are atoms.
a mole is a unit of measure that is essentially Avogadro's number. It's like
Invert squared. Invert squared. I wonder how they discovered it. That's a history lesson for another time. But the shit outside is vibrating more on a hotter day and less on a colder day.
it's a dimensional
All of it.
quality.
All the things. And everything is sharing a surface with everything. Like the temperature of my skin is radiating into this air, which is radiating into where does it all come? You know, it's like the Earth itself has thorium everywhere that is radioactively decaying, and that is why the Earth is warm. It's warming itself from the inside from a slow thermonuclear reaction from thorium. And that's the small nuclear reactors we need in this country to power these AI futures we so want to run so broadly into.
Right. Well, have almost infinite power that doesn't hurt, doesn't destroy the atmosphere as quickly, at least. I don't know.
Hey Daniel, what's temperature? Oh, so sorry, dude. So sorry, Peter. Let me say what you would say. Temperature is the vibration of the molecule. The amount the molecules are vibrating. If you have a warm marble, unless this marble, you have a warm marble, and you heat it up
Bumping the other ones.
100 degrees. It's almost like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, it's like hot. 120. And you have a liter of water that is a certain temperature, and you put a little thermometer in there. You can predict how much, when you put it in the water will change temperature based on the volume of the thing you're heating, and its thermal conductivity, which is another number. So anyway, you can know these things. Yeah, and some materials have like a low conductivity, and they're insulators. You put those around coffee to keep them warm, and so it's like the heat, the thermal fun can't get through a thermostat. It's got to stay on one side in the world and one side on the soup. And there's neither two in shall meet. In a good thermos, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it has a pocket of air.
Okay. Do you know that there was a time when people didn't know what air was, and it was like recently?
Yeah.
It was like the 1600s.
You can weigh air. Yeah.
You can count the molecules in it accurately. It's fucked up. People we work with go on single molecules all the time. Like that's their trade and craft.
Right.
Man.
Well, microwaves are interesting because microwaves emit a radio frequency, so a sound frequency, a wave of energy.
A wave of energy.
A wave of energy that.
Same class as photons.
Yeah, makes.
I'm about to say
particles
photons, light,
spin.
or waves is a wave of energy.
Someone was saying
So
that
it
like
rattles water particles, makes them dance. And
rattles
so-
water molecules make it dance. Microwaves, 2.4 gigahertz.
And so the more you get them dancing, the warmer they get.
My coffee is hot, but the mug is not. Because the mug is made of a different set of particles that doesn't vibrate at that frequency, but the water in the mug does. So you can put a mug in of room temperature water, nuke it, pull it out, mug is room temperature, water is boiling. Or getting
it'll
warm.
get there too, yeah.
It'll transfer eventually, yeah,
It'll
totally.
transfer.
If we got the dopest material science that existed, if we could just do that, if we're like, hey, aliens, what could we have? Here's the library of all the things. Get a material that can conduct heat at zero. Like zero. Like if you put an ice cube in a sphere of it, in a year you'll have an ice cube in a sphere of it. You know?
So just
Zero.
a perfect insulator.
Totally.
So
No
the perfect
loss.
Insulator versus a perfect conductor. Was like
Perfect conductor would be superconducting, and that would also
Yeah.
be brilliant, and that would probably open the way to
Yeah.
your computers on superconductors would be smarter than they are on not superconductors. Way the fuck smarter. Also, don't get me started on the electromagnetic spectrum. Don't you get me started. It's a gradient, and we're in it. Everything we are is vibrating at a gradient of the electromagnetic spectrum. You can't get around it. E equals mc squared. Anything that's solid can be turned into energy. Any energy can be turned into a solid. That happens in stars all the time. It's where everything comes from.
It's yeah, it's pretty
And
violent, or it's
very violent in the star.
thermodynamic.
Exothermodynamic.
Oh yeah,
Making
earlier I
energy.
said thermodynamic, like a law of thermodynamics. I was trying to say that was a Newton's law that was the equal and opposite reaction.
Reaction.
That's Newton's third law.
Things in motion tend to stay in motion. Inertia is one of them. 3 laws of motion. There's the inertia one. Dude, this is where
Yeah, that's
perplexity
Newton.
rocks. Okay, I just want to drop this one thought, then we can do anything we want. The when you take the spectrum of light that the human eye collects, turns into electrical signals, puts it on the what's it called? The optic nerve. The optic nerve is the brain squirting itself out as eyes, basically. Like your optic nerve, the thing that's seeing is so deep in your brain, it's like the major input. It's like 70+% of brain activity or something like that. Anyway, the light spectrum that your eye pulls in that turns into the chemistry that is moved in electrons that are neurons that are moved into your brain are the inputs to a sensory program that you learned as a child that gives you depth, edges, color. You have to be taught like so. You pick it up. No one's like sit you down and says this is an edge of a desk. But children that are brought up by wolves sometimes don't have that. They can't see edges and things. Like their brains didn't form those. They didn't grow up in rooms. And so anyway, the mental model that you're running is fucking software. And when you add up the amount of light that you can see is identical to take sunlight, shine it through a pool, just in your pool in your backyard, and the light you can see on the other side has an upper and lower boundary. That's the exact upper and lower boundary of our eyes. Our eyes grew up underwater, little water creatures looking underwater, because that's the only light we care about, is underwater light. We're wasted out here on these streets, running around in the air, because there's bugs that grew up out here that can see all into the top of the back, ultraviolet, infrared, below red, above purple, and red to purple is just speed. 1 repetition per second, and it's just gradient. We're just looking at it. We're looking at a little sliver of a gradient. Okay, now the rest of the electromagnetic spectrum that can be perceived, like rainbow shrimp, dude. Rainbow shrimp can see it with. They have like 11 kinds of eyes, and their perception, they can see way the hell more of the electromagnetic spectrum than we can. They also have plasma pincers. Ask me about that in a minute. But anyway, the plasma pincers. They have 11 eyes, I think, and they can see all this other stuff. Those things are actually experiencing more in reality than we're even capable of experiencing as humans. Like our piece of it is so small. When you do the math, I heard someone break it down. I wish I could remember the footnote. They were like, listen, humans can see like 0.002% of the electromagnetic spectrum with our eyes. So if it's up to humans, you're never going to know more than 0.002% of the truth of what's happening around you right now. It's happening right now. You can only see 0.0002%. Then this guy, I forget, I got to find this in my history somewhere, starts talking about the size of the universe. And he goes, now look at the pale blue dot. You know, the pale blue dot is one of the last things Voyager 2 did. Voyager 1 launched in 75. I was born in 76. Voyager 2 gets launched. It's a golden disc going out saying, hey, aliens, here's how to find us. People, very controversial. Came up with by the man himself, Carl Sagan, who openly smoked weed, not from his superiors, but later told the world he smoked weed every day at NASA to come up with these cool ideas like sending golden records into space. The object humanity has sent the furthest away from the Earth is the Voyager 1 and 2 probes. One of the last things he did was like, somebody said, turn it around, I think it was him, turn it around and point it back at the Earth from outside of the heliosphere of the sun itself, the magnetic insulated body of the solar system, essentially, from space itself, as we're going fucking fast around the Milky Way. It's like really fast, the speed at which we're moving. Anyway, you take into consideration the size of the Earth and that humans can see with just their senses, and you multiply these numbers together, the amount of the universe that you can possibly experience with your body is so infinitesimally small in comparison to the size of the universe. You like run out of zeros to get you can't push it back far enough because it's like a speck of a speck of a speck of a speck of a speck. And so anyway, AIs you could train to see almost everything. There's no limit.
Attention to it, yeah.
Yeah, there's no limit to that theoretically.
Yeah.
You know? And you could model a brain over and over again that could see 10% of it. 5%, 1%, 2%. You know? And think of the choices it could make being like, listen, I know you're thinking A, but you don't know about some things. I'm not lying. They're right there. They're right there.
What do you learn while following an AI that's fumbling around in the dark trying to learn, essentially?
Well, it has to tell you what it's learning because
yeah, exactly.
it has to put it into English for you. Right. There was a show on Apple TV where they were using AI. This is a science fiction future, but it seemed very accurate based on current research, where they were using AI to talk to whales and all kinds of stuff. And they were like, stop boiling our seas, please. You know, like shit like that. Yeah, right. But that's the thing. AI can speak dolphin, can speak whale. You can train those models on that, and you could have interspecies interfaces. You could do it. You know, with our tech.
Translators are pretty good.
You just need to tag the data.
Yeah.
You know, we know they have names based on even just humans looking at the seismographs of the when they make sounds and you put them into, like, you show the waves as like a little. They can isolate sounds that are like, oh, there's their name. They know a bunch of words. Yeah. What's the number of words a dog can know? Is it like 101 or 2 or something? I don't know. It has like there's like a brain capacity word thing, but super fun. Dude, you got to tell me something. I got a question for you.
Huh? Yeah.
I got a question for you. Dude, how was taco night?
Oh, we did chili.
Chili night. How was chili night?
Chili night.
It was good.
It was great.
Nice.
We ate 2 batches of chili. And it was delicious. And
that's a lot of chili. That's so delicious. What
game
did you play?
Red
the
Flags.
game is called Red Flags.
Red Flags. Huh.
Yeah.
Red Flag, yeah. It's kind of like Cards Against Humanity in a sense.
Yeah.
You're matching options together. But
Nice,
you read
nice.
them out instead of the person who is the maestro of the round.
Nice.
Reading them out, yeah. So that's pretty fun. And yeah, Seth was there, and Daniel was there, and Josh
Nice.
was there.
That's super fun.
And Mason was there, and Billy, and was there, James, and who else? Johnny, Franny, Mikey.
Yeah.
Nice. You guys had like a powwow. That's fun. Super fun. And a block party. Very cool.
Yeah, little potluck / game night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Super cool. Dude, I love your fish. I love your puffer fish. Did you make those?
Yeah.
Yeah, with some AI here.
Nice. They look cool. People are like, where are the aliens? It's like, just look at any fish. Like you think you're the same as them?
Yeah. You feel the same as them? Does that make sense to you? That
Do you feel like you share a common branch with octopus, or they came here on an asteroid? You tell me.
those tentacles, they probably crouched to ride. Although an asteroid is is cold, it's just at extreme temperatures.
Yeah. There's some things that do seem like
coming through
they're
our atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, mushroom spores do.
Unless you're back. Yeah.
Mushroom spores have been proven to. Yeah, they can go interplanetary. There's like a significant amount of like material that was on Mars at one time that like things hit Mars, they go pow, it pops up in the atmosphere. We drive through its dust trail and just like suck it in like into our ravines. You can find Mars shit on Earth. And I guess the reverse might be true. Actually, you'd need more energy to put it back into towards the sun. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
But Yeah.
Go out.
It'd be easier maybe to fling it out.
Shit to Jupiter. You feel that?
That's not how orbits work. Everything orbits the sun. You have to put out so much energy to go further out because it's like the sun's pulling you in. The sun at the core of it
have gravity too.
has this big electromagnetic field called the heliosphere that's like a battering ram. As we go whoa around like the Milky Way, around and around, it's like it like shields all this stuff. And so now that our first probes are going outside of it, they're like taking readings on like what's out here in like the actual space. So much of what we experience as physics, reality, could very well be some effect of the sun, some localized effect that we're just dragging with us. Like, yeah. Like the greenhouse lights, right? The lights in the greenhouse, that's the sun. Like it's like, but like
Yo.
the heliosphere and this envelope around our solar system is like a greenhouse, where it's shielded from the rough stuff that's outside, and it kind of pushes it away as it goes through. So like sometimes the Earth is in front of the sun, and it's getting the universe first before the sun, and sometimes it's behind the sun, and the sun's like.
Greenhouse in the universe.
But in both cases, the overall arc of the sun's electromagnetosphere is like bigger than the Earth goes out away from it, like by a long shot.
So Paul, there was something you said that that actually is very interesting. That I watched a YouTube video on. I don't know if you know who Mark Rober is, but he did a video where he had a squid go through an obstacle course.
I saw this.
And in this video, he explains how different squids really are, and you can see where squids are here.
They're
all the way over here.
That's a fake line. It's a fake line. Whenever you have to have one line, it's like, okay, there's DNA and it kind of went this way, and then there's the same line. This chart will be updated at some point, and it will include where these things originated from. But that's the cool part about sometimes you can do the DNA matching and there's a real good lineage on it. It's the thing about the intelligence of the octopus. They do seem like little living aliens. I
was just
smart. Like they're smart as like what, like a 7-year-old? Yeah, 7-year-olds. 7-year-olds can park cars where I come from.
Than we are.
Right.
Totally.
I was driving car. I was driving farm equipment years before I was 7.
Yeah, no, it's an incredibly interesting.
Yeah, what do they?
It's a good video. I highly recommend the video.
Dude, that's awesome. Drop a link, man.
This is.
It's really cool. Well, like the way that sugar is processed. There's also the way sugar is processed is common in all life on Earth. It doesn't have to be processed that way, but there is a method of it in life on Earth, and that's one way you can trace the commonality of the gene. Or at least I've read. I've not done the sequencing myself. The DNA can tell you a lot too, but also there's this thing about life could have hip hopped from back and forth between Mars and Earth. Like it could have started there, and kaplammy, some part of it got knocked. Enough of it got knocked out there that landed over here that you didn't have to start from scratch. You didn't have to start from like square zero. Also, life is apparently not terribly hard to make under certain conditions. Like that was kind of one of the experiments they did like back in the 70s. They took amino acids, basic ones, and they added like electricity, and they were getting complicated things come out of it. They're like, maybe at the atomic level, like morphogenic resonance, life just has a frequency, and in the infinite void of a perfect universe that's never had any history, there's some kind of mathematical probability of these things coming together. But in a universe that's had life living in it forever, there's like when they come together, like, oh look, sugar. Totally. It's like, there's certain patterns that are probably being electromagnetically held within the Earth's
there's like
magnetism. Yeah.
As different elements are brought together in different ways.
Nice. When you're talking aliens from other planets, Daniel, there's this plant called ibogaine, which is a medicinal psychedelic that people do not gravitate to for fun because the experience can last like up to 24 hours and is usually intense for people. People describe it as like being one-on-one with the source of their conscience. Everyone envision that. And what it can do medically is if you have like a lifelong opiate addiction, in a single session, it can reset your brain chemistry in a way where like you don't crave opiates again. You can literally just walk away and never do them again if you want. And it's like really a choice, apparently. Hearing some people talk about it. But anyway, it just got made legal inside of Colorado. And when you look at the molecule of ibogaine, well, the people who describe it, you know what they're talking about, are like, there's complexity to molecules in plants, and then there's like 4 levels of what, and then there's ibogaine. It's like a molecule that's like looks more like, if there's plant math and there's plant math engineering and people can steer plant math and make plant medicines out of shapes in plant molecules, it might have been done to this thing and like left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be like somebody's tool.
Yeah.
Totally. They say that about cannabis, you know. Cannabis means two-sexed, and it's one of the few plants that has a male and a female component. And cannabis is an old, Babylonian word for it. And I was looking at genetics in cannabis at one point, and so to make a human, you need about, I'm getting it wrong, but it's like, is it 18,000 base pair or 39,000? It's like in that area or whatever, something in there.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but that's like GATC. You like that's your pairs of those come together. How many base pairs you need to like encode a human? Cannabis has 250,000 base pairs.
So just a ton more.
They think it's a library. They think it's like you turn certain parts on with different stimuli and certain things start happening. God knows what that thing can do. It's
like
not
the
expressing most
inverse
of what it has.
Of mushrooms. Like there's different type of mushroom to grow in like any type of environment.
Right.
Pretty much, or decay any type of matter on this.
Do you remember hearing about that Paul Stamets mushroom that could eat nuclear material, radioactive material?
Yeah, like break it down.
Break it down. Nothing. We have no idea. When you spill like cesium, like there's cesium in clocks, in certain kind of atomic clocks, and so there's cesium in the world. And if you take cesium out of a safe where it should be, and you spill it, you just fuck that place up for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like people can't be anywhere near it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone's got to go away now and just let the
long time.
Yeah, it's just
let
so
the
bad.
stardust that should not be out in the open like this. Like nature puts it in the heart of stars, and you have to break them apart, and you get a little bit of it, not a lot, a little bit. Like it's really kind of like it's like the spice in a solar system. It's not heavy duty. So anyway, you're fucked with the cesium, but it's also uranium, plutonium. It's like anything that has a radioactive half-life longer than the life of the rest of the Earth, you know?
Yeah. Mushrooms, it's still mushrooms are cool because they grow in very specific conditions, and they can grow fairly predictably. So they can be trained and guided like over generations. Like this is very true with a lot of any living thing, and people do it with plants and animals. They grow like people who like you get fish from a fish store. Where do those fish come from? Hobbyists and crazy people who literally breed fish and select the prettiest ones for
Totally.
just like that's their entire life is sorting fish and taking care of water and and
That's awesome.
feeding them. And but then people do that, like you go to your local nursery, people are doing the same thing with plants, and their source, and they know where to buy the people who grow the best type of plants that grow in your region. And then there's whole
That's right.
indexes and libraries of what grows in the different regions and when to and schedules of when to plant. And this is all stuff that's
Have you ever heard of the Bach flower essences? kind of the more popular version of this kind of thing. Ever heard of them? Bach flower essences?
Flower essence. No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So in a vitamin store, there's like essences, like flower essences and different, but then there's sets. So the Bach flower essence set is a sampling of and mixture of all of the living organisms within like this one area, as if the good expression of life in that area produced like a circular mandala, and you could each contributing to the whole. And when you bottled the whole set, you could go as a frequency kind of thing. Bottling it means take this leaf, put it in some alcohol or something, let it esterize.
Extract the all the unique chemicals out of it that have smell, essentially.
If you were to eat the leaf and like
Taste.
digest it all throughout the fiber, it would be the same as like doing the drops of the thing. It's like the stuff of it,
Yeah.
And okay, so the Bach flower essences are this one area, but what tripped me out when I was learning that this has been done in other places. You can get like an Australian version where they did like a wheel, in a certain way, where it's like that's the concept that you've captured the tone as expressed in a molecular symphony around a center. And if you have something that's off over here, theoretically, you could add something over here to bring it to center. It's like a tone. It's like a balancing thing. There's a huge. It's kind of on the edge of where people probably consider homeopathy and stuff like that. But that's the key with that 250,000 base pairs in cannabis. You don't really know what's going to turn those keys on and off, and we're very complicated. And so a very small amount of any kind of stimulus can make your body respond in certain ways. Dude, when you're talking guided mushrooms, sorry, totally keep talking, but guided mushrooms, that's what tripped me out about the psychedelic festival that was a couple of weeks ago. Seeing all the results in the mushroom category, it was because they were testing. They had a lab panel that covered the three things that they had at the fair, which was cactus extracts. So they had all this mescaline panel stuff. They had DMT extracts, and that was a certain set of things. And then they had one for mushrooms that kind of covered some of the psilocybin stuff, right? So they would run the panel with these three things on everything they were given. So, or not, there's like some overlap in it, right? I'm probably exaggerating it a little bit. But what I was surprised to see is the number of psilocybin mushrooms who would normally just be evaluated on the psilocybin scale that were also expressing dimethyltryptamine and N-DMT and 5-MeO-DMT. And up to this point, it's like 5-MeO-DMT. It comes from labs and toads and these mushrooms apparently. And so it's like what, when you're talking about the molecular synthesis of going from a spore to a fruiting body in a short period of time, you're talking about the equivalent of human beings building a ladder to the moon. It's crazy what the engineering is. Like we're nowhere near as powerful engineers as these little things are.
Yeah. Well, we do it in our environment, and they do it in theirs. We're operating in a different dimension of sorts. Not a different, maybe not a different dimension. We're operating at a different level, or
Sure.
we're a balancing force in the field of life forms that they grow into.
Right. Curators of them, get
Yeah.
dogs out of wolves, kind of thing.
We might work for them,
We might be the white blood cells of the earth. Totally, exactly. Like
Yeah.
what are we gonna do? Make an ark and carry all the biology to another planet? That sounds like a Gaia thing, doesn't it? like not really. Like who you working for? What are you doing? But that's great. But dude, Daniel, when you said so the cesium problem, right? So until I had never heard this before, but Paul Stamets had found strains of mushrooms that you could put in like rye chips. We spilled cesium, no problem. Get the guys with the white suits to go in and jump off all the rye chips and enough, water and manure to like make the thing. And then what happens is the mushrooms start to grow, and there's these kinds of mushrooms that will take an atom of cesium and make it something else. There's no more cesium in there, yo. it's like hydrogen and carbon and like water, and it's like, where's the cesium? Like our whole model of the universe says that you need nuclear decay for it to go away. That's why we're fucked if it's laying around, because we don't know how to make it not lay around. These mushrooms are like, relax.
Yeah. Pass it to a different dimension. feeds it back, right?
These things are just like vibrations, so we just change the vibration down and we like break it and we like pull it apart, and then it's like, there we go. See, it was just a bunch of little things anyway. It's like, you're fine. Put me over there. I like the duty over there. That's my favorite pile. You know. But anyway, that's, dude, if we could understand that level of mastery of the world, you could go the other way too. You could probably go, no, I'd like some cesium. No, I don't want some cesium. And everything in between. What is that? It's fucking Star Trek, dude. That's like, a holodeck, make me a spaceship. Oh, what kind of spaceship you want? Like this in my head. And it's like, boom, you know, or whatever. AI promoted.
Yeah, for mind reading.
I'm maybe taking in too much data, but I have been shocked at the number of human devices that can actually turn thoughts into action. It's a really large number, and they've been around since like the 70s.
That can turn thoughts into action, like a pen.
Like fly the drone with your brain.
Okay.
Fly the plane with your brain is big. Fly the drone with your brain is big. Interface with a computer with your brain's pretty big, and it's like apparently been going on for a long ass time. Like we're just like, oh, Elon Musk is doing it. Everyone get excited. It's like, yeah, fantastic, building upon the success of the 70s.
Fly the plane with your brain, though? Like, are you talking about like chips in your brain that help you fly the plane, or but because they literally design
Headsets.
planes that like, I mean,
Read your EEG.
read all sorts of things about you and signal to you in all sorts of different ways and take commands in different ways that make it very just like really just track your whole movement kind of in that seat, and
Safer.
and then have weapon systems attached to this
Yep.
awareness suit of your being, and you can command stuff. Boom, boom.
Yeah. Elon Musk was on the West Point channel talking about the future of warfare, and he was like, listen, whatever it's gonna be, in the short term, what it's gonna be is drones and basically how lethal they are. So per drone you send, how many of their drones do you knock out, or how many of their people do you knock out? That's a number. And whoever you can have crap drones and a lot of them, and you win if someone else has the best drones and a few of them. And so it's this weird, it's drone math.
Drone math.
It's like Terminator drone math.
Right. Can we turn your materials into uselessness faster than you can turn?
Can we mushroom you back into the atoms quicker? It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Dude, it's so inelegant.
Faster, you know, it is like.
But that's the thing that turns the main thing that decomposes stuff is the mushrooms. Apparently, the mycelium networks. Like the reason why there's not bodies everywhere is because the mushrooms turned it back into component atoms and spread it around. That cool?
Yeah. Well, lots of things that go into breaking you down. Like
Right.
bacterias,
Right.
yeah, different things like to grow in different conditions, so things break down faster in acidic environments.
Right.
Um,
Right.
And so there's a lot of variables.
Right. Like if you got thrown
But-
in an acid vat, you'd be around for like 8 minutes tops, and then you'd be like a sauce of amino acids, right?
Vat of acid.
Well-
Yeah.
I think what we're saying here
Rick and Morty, goodness.
is that when you think about it for just a minute, there's quite a bit we can know about the world, and what's remarkable is that even if you could know all the things that a human could know, it's just 0.002% of the spectrum, and then it's like we're at the pinnacle of our knowledge.
So blind.
At the pinnacle of our knowledge, what we're going to be is like, oh, that's what 1% feels like. We're going to go, right, because there's like 99% that, like, you know, we're reaching for.
Yeah.
There's no...
You don't look
what is-
blind, but you're blind to a lot. Yeah.
I mean, as a species, if
As
we
a
turned
species,
everybody into a scientist, and everybody's job was to take careful observations of everything. You know, like
I think a
you
great
could-
way of thinking about it is we are a finite entity trying to understand the infinite.
Right. Right.
Yes.
I was also
Iterate
thinking
maybe
about it.
Generation.
I was thinking about. I was talking to some wild kids over at the Area 52 Discord with the Chris Ramseys, and we were talking. You said it correctly,
I think you did.
I think.
We're the finite trying to understand or comprehend the infinite.
Yeah. Here's a parallel: the receding horizon of exploration. So 100 years ago, if you wanted to go to the liminal place, the place where they didn't know what was going to happen next, you went to a place that we really understand well now, with like germ theory and like a whole bunch of different things, right? So I think that what happens is there's always the human need to go a little farther than the known,
Find
and
the
so people are
frontier.
nailed this
Yeah.
of all things, because it's at the frontier where you're still staring to the unknown and it's unformed, and that becomes sort of a baseline requirement for like knowing yourself, to like it's almost like you're always, the thing looking is almost is bigger than what can be seen in a certain way, and so it's always looking for the place where it gets a little fuzzy so it can see itself somehow in the reflection from back from infinity.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Like if we knew everything about like right now the myth is UFOs. UFOs are a myth. They're going from myth to science. Part of the magic is the mythical. It's a modern myth, the UFO story. It's ancient. It's been repeated throughout history, and it's wearing off in the sense that some of it's being understood scientifically. And the thing we know about this is that when you chase the spirit of the mystery beyond the scientific limit, you're going to need a new limit. And so the more that you scientifically understand about UFOs, the less they're going to satisfy that need. There's going to be some understanding about what they are, but then beyond that, there's going to be another receding line. And there's always going to be people drawn to the edge of the line, and you're never going to, you're walking a ball in a certain way. You're going to just going to keep walking around it in different angles and different ways, you know, there's no stopping point in this expanse.
Yeah, the system doesn't need an edge. It's always going to look for one.
Right angles aren't going to be the thing. Yeah, totally. Hey, I got a thought. I got a thought for you guys. Do you guys know Casey Neistat?
Yes.
Yeah, I've
heard of that guy. I don't know.
You've heard of that guy?
I have a parasocial relationship with Casey.
I don't. I have about 10 hours in with him, so I don't really know him. But you feel like you've got a space in your heart for that man?
Well, I just have taken in a decent amount of his content over the years, so
Totally.
kind of a vibe for him, for sure.
You make sense to me. I totally respect it. I heard something from Casey Neistat the other day, and he said this. Do you know where Casey Neistat's glasses came from? His famous glasses? Have you ever heard this story?
I have watched this video. He's made a whole video about it.
Totally.
I don't remember exactly why. I know they're Ray-Bans and he spray paints them and scratches paint off.
Yes, they're usually kind of torn up or whatever, but two reasons.
Oh, so he looks normal looking at the camera all the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
The reason why he blocks out his eyes is because he's not looking like dead into the camera. What he's doing is he's looking at a little screen off to the side where he is in to make sure he's in frame properly. So if you're kind of like at the corner of your eye, you're like, okay, there I am. I'm balancing it out or whatever. This is a skill. It's a skill to stay in the middle of the frame and make a connection. Some people do it better. You know, some people do it bridge the gap better than others in a certain way. And it has to do with that. It has to do with eye contact. It has to do with a whole bunch of different how natural it is. A lot of factors. Anyway, it just got me thinking, because we're always like, I saw some people handling it poorly on a video, and I was like, oh man, whatever you're doing, do it differently.
Yeah. He always looks like he's looking into the camera, or unless it's like a
right.
You know, it's a different shot. But yeah,
Right.
It is a skill to maintain that steady eye contact looking at your viewer.
Yeah, totally.
You do have to look at yourself, and if you're really close to the camera, people can tell you where your eyes are.
Right.
Especially if they only have you to focus on.
Right. That's so true. Totally. You know, there is this party up in Keystone, Colorado on Saturday that I'm going to. It's called Beaks and Peaks, and there is a glass artist who has been invited who makes like crazy bird-based bongs, and there's going to be lots of bird-based bongs there, and there's going to be lots of humans hanging out, and I think there's going to be more marbles afoot and around. So anyway, I'll report back from Marble Land up in the mountains of Colorado.
Glass.
You guys are always welcome.
Glass.
Absolutely. One of my I have been using the autopilot function on my wife's Tesla sometimes, and it is remarkable how powerful it is. Like 100% hands off, 100 plus miles, 2.5 plus hour journey, no interruptions, no problem, no nothing, just like goes and goes and goes. The It's got me thinking about long distance trips more. That's why I was hoping the Cybertruck worked out better because of the auto driving. There's a world in which, what couldn't you comfortably drive in a day, right? 8 hours, 12 hours. You can push it. When I was younger, I used to push it a lot. Like I would do like a 20 or something, or 24, like something crazy, and I could do it. As you get older, you want it to be like more like 8s and 10s. But dude,
Yeah,
with
8s and 10s for sure, and even then.
cognitive offboarding though, with these AI models inside the Teslas, you could easily do like an 18, like easy. Just
Easy.
and then your circle of like where you can jump to in a day totally changes, based on charges and stuff like that.
Yeah, that is a cool thing to think about. Yeah, I think my max is 28 hours straight.
That's a long one.
Straight driving.
Yeah,
and
I
I had
haven't
been
even
up
done
for
that.
8 hours before I started.
It's like so you're like seeing stuff at the end of that.
I literally.
Totally. Your brain's like the brain software's like hard reset.
Yeah.
You close your eyes for a fraction of a second, you live like 800 lives. You're like, did I just
you,
dream
like,
that? What the
pop
fuck?
right out of your body.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
fuck. I do need to sleep, huh?
Pop out of your body. Dude. I'm watching these deep dive Chris Ramsey UFO videos. He's interviewing Lou Alessandro and getting like confirmation from the government on a bunch of crazy stories. But the craziest stories are the ones of the like the U.S. Nimitz, where it had the UFOs. It was like tons of UFOs like swarmed it and attacked it. They baited the UFOs, the underwater submersible officers, UFOs, to come for it, because they put a big nuclear package out there in the middle, and they put all of these ships around it. And so they thought whatever civilization they're bumping up against sent out all this other stuff to come check them out. There's stories like that, but there's also stories like you're in a ship and a big light comes from underneath, and then some little thing comes up and looks at you, and maybe the light goes away underneath. Sometimes the light's as big as an island. Sometimes it's just like unbelievable shit. But there's also things like they take like missiles. This is all from Chris Ramsey's video. They take like a Tomahawk missile, and you can put a nuclear bomb in it. You don't have to, but you can on a cruise missile. And you can shoot it, and when you're testing it out, you want it to go up, and then it blows up, and then it falls into the ocean. And if it doesn't blow up, if it stops flying and then it crashes into the ocean, it'll sink for a certain amount of time, then it blows a ballast, and it raises to the surface, and it waits there until a helicopter comes and gets it, and it's got a little beacon on it. So they reuse the bodies of them, basically, when they do these tests. There's apparently a friend of Lou's was flying the plane when this happened, and they had a frogman. He was going down the thing. He was going to hook on the pole. They were going to drag back this body like they do 100 times, and something huge shot up out of the water, black as the devil, they said, and it was like, and then it like went under the water, and then like the missile went down, and they never got that missile back. Like it was something else there with them, and it scared them to death. Like the frogman like climbed back up the ladder, and it was like, or the rope, and I was like, holy smokes. Like that was like, it was like close. And then the crazy ones were like, so sonar is super accurate. So missile boat captains, the nuclear missile nuclear deterrent is split into 3 sectors. That's why they call it a trident, because a trident's like a 3-pronged thing. A third of the nuclear missiles belong to the Air Force, can be dropped from planes. A third come from the ground and can be launched all throughout the continental United States. Army, I believe, but I could be wrong. And then the third one is the Navy with their nuclear subs. The nuclear subs are the most dangerous by far because no one knows where they are, and one of them can carry enough bang to like really count. Like, so if you have like 30 of them or something, or 20 of them, or some large number, and they're all over the place anytime you don't know where they are, this is not a good thing for you. Like, you don't want to mess with this, right? Okay, so, damn it, stoner vision. I got off a tangent. Oh, yeah. So, if you're in charge of the World War III in a can device, guess what? You are fucking reliable. Right? Like, you might be a lot of things, but unpredictable is not one of them.
Yeah, I
Right.
hope to God, right?
If they can't do that, someone's got to take away the keys, because that's important. Right? That's like a key design frame for the boat captain's mindset. Probably the most cunning and stable people you can find, right? So, what's the point of this? Oh yeah. So Lou is hearing from his friend who's one of those, and he tells stories like, "We were in the nuclear sub, and our hyper-accurate radars reported something the size of a small island, going 500 knots per hour underwater." And Lou tells this funny joke. He goes, "What'd you do?" And he goes, "We got out of the way. That's what we did." like you, yeah, because it's like way the hell bigger. And the fastest anything can go underwater is like 70 knots, 80 knots. Like and those are like torpedoes and shit. Like things that are perfectly, yeah. So something going 500 knots that's a giant block. It's like it doesn't even make any sense. But go ahead.
You want to know something kind of wild about how the lengths the U.S. Navy is willing to go to keep, something as small as a propeller hidden from Russia? So, propeller technology is a huge deal, not just with boats, but also, especially with submarines, where, obviously sound waves travel really far underwater. It's different than how it is in air.
You can hear whales. You can hear whales singing all the way around the earth. Like, their songs take like 6 days to get there, but like, it happens.
Yeah. So the cavitation that forms at the tips of propellers will obviously make a lot of noise. So propeller technology is a huge deal. How do you, mitigate a lot of the cavitation? There's different designs that do different levels, have different levels of effectiveness.
Yeah.
Now, the ones that the U.S. Navy use, we don't fucking know. Because anytime that they go into dry dock, they cover them shits up, and they are very careful about doing so. Because the satellites, they're worried about Russian satellites being able to capture it. So like they don't just hide it from the U.S. public, but also just the public in general, because of how sensitive and important just one prong, especially that prong of the Triton, is.
Yeah, that's right. There's an event that happened this week that's actually a landmark case. It has to do with the DeepSeek 3 model, but the way that you train models is at least part of the process, the way I understand it, is you take a knowledge set and then you label it. So when it sees this set of pixels, it's an apple. When it sees this set of pixels, it's a donkey. And give enough apple and donkey examples, and now it can tell the difference between apples and donkeys, right? But it's got to be labeled. So you take the human data sets, and they get absorbed. Then what you can do is you can get a lightweight set of AIs that can start labeling the pictures even better. So you get an apple doesn't become an apple, it becomes this kind of an apple with a gradient, with this kind of an edge, with a worm coming out of it, with a no human. You could literally have an AI produce more material on that image than a human would ever want to do or be trained to do. Then you have an AI informed data set that you can then train the next model on. You can then add human tweaking. You can kind of keep going forward like this, right? So it's this iterative process of getting more and more data. What they have found, or think they found, is that DeepCDR or DeepSeek 3, the open source model that got released by the Chinese this week, or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, recently, it didn't learn from any data sets. It learned from another AI. Somehow they got like the ChatGPT 4.0 model and just said, your job is to interrogate this thing and ask it everything you need to know to get better. And so it cost a fraction of the amount, and it was actually smarter than that model. And so they now have open source models that this DeepSeek model, there's examples now that just came out like 2 days ago of these models. Take two of these models and have one ask the other one how to make itself better. And so you're essentially, there was a time where you were going to have AIs assisting in chip design, and then the chips would go through be like little things that look like, leaves on a tree, and they're like holographic fractals that just like give you knowledge back, whatever. It's like some kind of crazy chip technology, right? So the only way we can make the chips we do now is with computer-aided design. Without the computers, you can't actually make the chips. So it's like this kind of process has been going on for a while, but it just got to the point this week where the technology needed to take any old model from 2% effective to 5% effective to 100% effective at what it's doing, infinite self-training, that's been open sourced. It's available in the whole world. If there's going to be like a panic AI moment, this is it. Where this is it. If no one notices, this thing is just going to ascend the IQ curve into the stratosphere. And it's because once you set that go, and it's now been set go, it gets better and 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 better. So anyway, AI super intelligence. We've crossed the line.
Crossed the line. We crossed the line.
We've crossed the line. These lines we're crossing.
Yeah, it's just like,
dude, do we need to fire up the machines?
Frontier out.
Dude, we might need to fire up the machines and get this thing. Let's fire up the machines. To do that, we're going to go to break, and we will launch and transform. Any final thoughts before we go? Dude, Daniel, you have inspired me to think about the standard units and how they have changed. There's a fascinating story you would love, sir, that has to do with, okay, so like a foot used to be like how big a king's foot was. But then there's different kings, so it moved around, right? 13 stone? What stone do you speak of? Stone come in many size. There's like so over time measurements become more standard. The old kilogram used to be like there was like 1 kilogram, and then 12 copies of it were made, and you standardized all your weights and measures to this one thing. So what they've been seeking to do is to base it on stuff that doesn't fluctuate like that, because they did these studies over time of how the standard kilogram went up and down. It was like, oh no. So they make them like the number of pulses of light that come out of atoms. Like the way that a cesium clock works is that it takes the average of several detectors of a sample of cesium, gives off particles at a steady pace. And it's that steady rate of decay. Over here in Boulder, Colorado at NIST, the National Institute of Science and Technology, they have like 16 of these things buried, and then they average it, and that gives you the time that then gets broadcast by a light to satellites, and that's like when you go anywhere in the world, it's based on that time. Like,
wow, that's pretty wild.
But you have to count steady to get that accurate. You have to count something super steady in the universe, a super steady ticker.
The emission from the cesium and
right
to that ratio out to seconds.
So they used to be based on the sizes of toads and things. And now they're based on like pulses of light in a vacuum and shit. Like it's like way better. Anyway, you're gonna love these stories. Pure. Dude, let's hit a break here, and then we're gonna be back, and we're gonna be playing. Oh, what are we playing? We're gonna play a little Battlefront. What do you think?
We are in here. Let's play a couple.
Let's play Battlefront.
And then
here we go.
Rock on.
Very nice. Very
rock
nice.
On.
Very nice. Very
rock
nice.
On.
And we're taking the break.
Hear the sacred angels singing, calling out your name. We're charged and turning, our spinning bodies set us free to dance the cosmos in your perfect geometry. Heaven's not distant, it's where we start.
Heaven's not distant. It's where we start. Yo, heaven's not distant, man. It's where we start. Also, we start in the mines of Kessel. We're also starting in the mines of Kessel. Alright. Here we go. Let's go slay the bad guy. Oh, I didn't turn you guys. I got layers to the pro. Okay, I've muted you, sirs. Whoa. Mouses, acquiredest. Apologies, sirs.
Still muted. There we go.
You're on. I can hear you.
Hey.
I haven't heard Peter yet. Just FYI.
Oh.
There it is.
you go.
There it is. Got you.
I hear his controller.
Controller to ground. Dude, I heard that some of these airplane crashes might be like hacking attempts. That like you can hack into modern aircraft and then just make them crash into each other. That it might be like like in warfare, if you have deniability, like if you can make your hackers slip into the enemy's shit and you can do it in a way that they can't prove that you did it, and you know that, you can do some pretty fucked up stuff, even to your allies for purposes, you know?
Yeah. Oh.
Did you guys hear they shut down the CIA?
Shut it down.
That's like next week's headline, sorry. There's the main funding mechanism for the CIA's shenanigans. The most interesting of which that came to light was posted on the whitehouse.gov website and said that the U.S. Advancement Industry and Design AID, USAID, gave $53 million to EcoHealth Alliance that funded coronavirus research in the Wuhan lab. And last week the CIA came out and said that it is very probable that coronavirus was an engineered virus that came out of the lab, and they said that they knew about it like from March of 2020. That I know. So there's like going to be this purge of the CIA, so everyone's covering their ASS. And so they just told the whole world that they knew that coronavirus came from there. And they just published on the Elon and his hackers got in there and they got into the payment system, and they've been like jailbreaking all of the payments and stuff. And that was so that was it. That's the official reporting that just like the Twitter files exposed what was happening at Twitter, we're getting the government files, and we are going to be learning about some of the craziest craziest shit you've ever heard, but that's like the worst conspiracy theory in the world would have said that the US taxpayer was paying through its tax dollars the USAID, which was basically, you know, programmed by the CIA, run by CIA people in the CIA who worked there, like straight up. They were manipulating the system so as to funnel money just wherever the heck they want, and it was for all these crazy purposes, and that was one of them. So that the money the lab used to make coronavirus that the CIA admitted is very likely where it came from. It's just like, dude, like, that's wild. That's the wildest stuff. I've heard some of the wildest stuff about the JFK assassinations. I can't even get into it. I need a week to digest it. Watch. I have no desire to kill myself. People, it's so crazy. What's so crazy is that the world has been run in this cray way, and all of the opinions of our politicians, like all the crazy opinions that just are hollow and weird, have been propped up by Operation Mockingbird style purchased journalists through USAID, like Politico, who got like $13 million, which is just so much money for a newspaper, and they got it from the CIA through the USAID. Anyway, they stopped all these payments. The Elon hackers, God bless their souls, cracked the code, and they couldn't get the cash. And anyway, that's what I heard. Did you guys hear about that stuff?
I haven't been paying attention.
No, I haven't been paying attention. I've been trying to.
I'm sorry that I'm your news source.
It's so fucking. I mean,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I mean,
I know.
At least I know something now.
Dude, it's the craziest shit. It's just stuff like you're gonna read about like Watergate in like 100 years, you know? Like, it's so nuts. Anyway,
yeah, no, that does sound all insane, and I'm actually like, I'm glad that it's happening. I'll hear about it
exactly.
at some point.
It's
just
actually
all the
important
noise
for
that's going.
personally.
for the
I've only
dust to
dipped back
settle
into it in
everything.
like the last 48 hours. I've only dipped back
Yeah.
in. I was basically I couldn't even believe it. I was like, wait, I'm hearing like rumors of miracles. Like, you pulled the plug on the money for the CIA. What the monkey junk funker is happening in our universe? This is great.
Waiting for the
Well, just that. Here's the
dust to
key.
settle.
All of that kind of money needs oversight, and that's the problem. There is none.
Well,
Because
it's
it was
expensive to oversight big piles of money. It's really hard to do. And then
Well,
you want to be
yeah.
secretive about it.
That's right.
sometimes,
That's right.
then it
You
gets
gotta
even
open source
harder,
it.
dude.
Open source it and let the universe come in and audit your code.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I mean, you can't, I don't think any institution is going to be expected to be trusted. I think everything they're going to do is going to be, you know, some kind of blockchain. Maybe the Doge, after it cleans house, institutes like a blockchain based government. like
Doge
just
going in and destroying shit.
just being like, no. If you're going to use government money, it has to go through this open ledger. And if you find corruption, this open
but,
ledger,
like,
we split the
in
bounty
terms
with
of
you.
like the people who are complacent in the corruption,
Mm-hmm.
he's wrecking shit.
Wrecking shit.
Yeah.
People are talking about the
Yeah.
Epstein files dropping any day. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, this is like some crazy level stuff. Like, crazy
It
level
is.
scandal. Like, the government's been operating with a high level of.
The whole left has been propped up by corrupt USAID money, all the way from the rent-a riots, because that's a thing. You can go get a riot. It's a phone call and a dollar amount, and they
I
don't
wonder
go
if
to
it's a
jail.
specific agenda
Bricks
within the left
and
that's
everything.
co-opted the left.
No, but that's the thing. There aren't people behind it. It's astroturfed politics. The talking points that we hear endlessly repeated by mainstream media are propped up by these psyops, basically, that are come out of Politico. I mean, so Politico was the first one to drop the Hunter Biden laptop shenanigans, and that was a complete front for the CIA, USAID. That was a total front. I mean, and proven now, and that's what was proven. And so it's just like that is earth-shattering to people, because people base their whole thing off what that thing said, and now they're like, wait a minute, I'm reading what a government employee wrote.
Concocted.
Yeah. And that's and secretly, like, not transparently, like you're reading what's it, Radio America, you know? You're slurping on the US propaganda, but the whole thing is based on that. Like the web of what they traced some, they cut off all the money for any NGO that like brings immigrants into the United States. They just arrested 125 Venezuelan gang members from Aurora, Colorado, like 2 days ago. Like, they're gone. And that's so good for our local economy. That's so good for everybody. That's so good for even for the people that are here illegally that are just like chill. You know what I mean? Like, it's like everybody benefits from bad people getting theirs. Like, that's like common sense. Anyway, we're in the middle of, this is just wild. It is so cool. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it does. And well, the thing is, there's such a platform. Well, there's an appetite for regime change too. So
big time. Well, it's so great because I don't think I keep bumping into people that are worried that it means this or that, and I'm just like, dude, this is like a 0.001% of the people controlling everyone else situation. If more people get in charge, that means it's more of all kinds of people get in charge, not just some kinds of people. If like the voice of people is what's preserved in this system, that's going to work for the people whose, by the way, voice has not been heard in this regime. It has also been suppressed, and it's just been co-opted to such a degree that it's like, oh, you're winning. It's like, no. This is nothing that we were fighting for a second ago. Like, that's not real. Like, it's very interesting how I mean, people's poor psychology, their brains and their souls have been run around and lied to and just torn apart, and they deserve the truth. And you couldn't make 100 good enough documentaries to really put the Humpty Dumpty back together again. But you've basically concussed a whole generation with whiplash, ontological whiplash.
Right.
You could have broken brains from experiencing direct psyop.
Well, it's trauma.
Fucking trauma.
It's
You lost family members. You got divorces based on lies. Lies, dude. Real effects in the real world. Out here in these streets, people take what you believe seriously, and it means something. And you can't just mess with it, and that's why it's a universal search for truth.
Oh shit.
Totally.
Yoda and Luke.
Oh no! As the Emperor, I got donked on.
It's hilarious.
I got my booty chomped.
They got some Ewok magic. They unleashed some Ewok magic on me. Himmelbach's here out here in these streets. Oh, dude, I forgot to engage the thrusters on my sound.
Ah.
Our defenses have broken. Perfect timing. All right, it's a quick break and we're back.
Shadows blend where the sky unfolds, unlocking colors drip like liquid gold. Your hand in mine, we're chasing time. Through the spectrum, love is redefined. Every hue's a door, every shade a key, unlocking the heavens we were meant to see. Crimson whispers, violet sighs, clouds ignite as the daylight dies. Awe and wonder in the amber glow. We're falling fast, but I'll never let you go. Every hue's a door, every shade a key, unlocking the heavens we were meant to see. Gradients, all they pull me in. Sunset gateways where new worlds begin. In the purple and in the blues, in other dimensions, our secret rendezvous.
Yeah, and we're gonna bring nunchucks and throwing stars, and we're gonna be like fucking awesome, dude. The E8 diagram should be the tits Freudenthal magic square.
Crimson Crimson whispers, violet sighs. Clouds ignite as the daylight dies. Awe and wonder in the ember glow. We're falling fast, but I'll never let you go.
Alright. Landing the plane on this level. On this level. On this level. On this level.
Gradients calling, we're never out of time. Chasing love.
Oh, no.
Alright.
There's levels to this shit.
Chasing love on the sunset high. Let's go. We like A on this. Okay, there's the comms. There now I'm on Tatooine. I can taste the dust. Smells like bunker fuel over here.
Sunset fuel.
Bunker fuel.
What's special about bunker fuel as opposed to?
That's some Nazi reference from the I forget. I think it's from Inglourious Bastards. I can't remember. Somebody was losing their mind over bunker fuel. I believe he was a Nazi. I just thought it was cool that bunker had fuel. Bunkers had fuel. Like, I guess if you got a bunker, you need fuel in your bunker.
That's unfortunate.
This looks like it had a bunker fuel in it. Mostly it's just silliness. Mostly it's just deep silliness.
Game sound is
Silly.
Game sound has been reduced so that conversational sound can be increased. So, the universe just keeps dangling Discord features in front of my eyes. It's like, it can do this, it can do this, it can do this. And I'm like, man, you had me at hello. Why this prolonged courtship?
You're like, you had me at out of the box, Slack, but better, free. And then you were like, would you like to customize and spray paint your shit?
For a fee.
Extra? For this Nitro membership?
Yeah, totally. It's, dude, I got to 505th level. That's a large number of levels. You know what'd be so cool? Is if we were playing on some alien server and our government was just taxing our wages at 100%, but we were getting paid some enormous intergalactic fee for like all of our excellent exploits in these games. That like the eyeballs of just billions of squids in like the Xandar cluster have nothing to do except watch our transmissions, and they each pay us 1/4 of a quillionth of a Tiglar, and that shit adds up fast.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Valuable, dude. Sounds like trying to find an excuse.
An excuse? No.
Milking it. Ah.
It's unfortunate.
I need. There was a thought on the other end of that string. Okay, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's where the jumping off point was. You don't have to get into the details of the alien galaxy, but wouldn't it be crazy if in the government files it was revealed that a huge form of corruption on the planet Earth was that all the gamers were being exploited and weren't being paid for their fair labors of solving these intricate riddles and puzzles over and over again. we're like being pimped out on some intergalactic mechanical Turk.
Data brokerage market.
Totally. Like we just don't know it. We're just being custom grown for this. We're like, it's like, no. Your pod has been one of the highest producing pods known in the farm. It's like, wait a minute. What's going on?
What?
Hold on a second.
What? Excuse me?
But that'd be great. It'd be like, here's your
You are
check
really special.
in this currency that is transmutable in the stars based on the hydrogen atom or something. H.
Hydrogen-based currency. What?
Hydrogen-based currency. This is basically like, it all comes back to hydrogen-based currencies.
Not even oxygen. Hydrogen, the most abundant resource.
I mean,
on Earth.
can you imagine if AI can like put us to use? Like,
God.
good job,
something make
guys,
me useful.
fighting cancer.
Thank you.
You know,
Sick of
it's
being
like what I did is I took the
useless.
molecules of the you know, the bad stuff, and I modeled it as the movement of the enemy troops in your simulation, and then I set your guns to the exact rotational axes that would be necessary to calculate the molecules' inner trajectory geometries, and then you guys solve cancer.
Cancer.
This is great. Here is 1/1,000,000th of the value of your work, which will help you and 8 generations of your descendants retire with ease. You know? Like,
You know. Come on. Yeah.
like you could totally like.
Gotta manifest it. All right.
I mean, it's all waste. It's all wasted cycles out here. You could put every one of these cycles to use. You know what I mean?
Cycle to use.
Yeah, and accurately compensate it and like, you know, not enslave it, but like liberate it. Dude, the exosuit of your earning potential as a conscious being, man.
The exosuit of your learning potential as a conscious being. That would track all the things, all your experience, and all the
Totally.
opportunities you had to learn.
And all the connections you made socially and all the credit you did. It'd have a karma score, some internationally agreed upon blockchain reinforced karma score. Like, no, straight shooter. 1-to-1.
Exosuit.
Ripped everyone off. 1 to 0.6. You know? Like,
Does not know.
does
ask
not
face.
follow through.
Uh,
We'll say things not true to your
Yeah.
face. You know,
We'll tell you one thing one day.
reputation
and
AIs.
the next.
reputation AIs just like, you know, swarming around you like little verified coins stamped like little bumblebees, like trustworthy. I'm stuck. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. I'm stuck behind these crates. How do I get out of these crates? Dude, I gotta kill myself. That's okay, I'll do it. Close, respawn. I can't do it. Oh. Don't worry, I'll
Throw a grenade
reincarnate. You're right. Oh, right, because you can hurt yourself. I'm with Himmelbach. Himmelbach, I'm with you in 2, 1. No, what I think is like, you know how blockchain is ownership. It's all math mediated, right? What if we lived in a society that agreed that 100% of your value was like, I don't know, synonymous with the ticks of seconds in your life? And that the exchange rate of your energy for your reward could be dang close to 1-to-1 in terms of a system that synchronized the opportunity with the effort in a way that would just be impossible to do otherwise. You'd need a mathematical formula to appropriate that much human
You need
dynamicism.
an omnipresent observer to track you.
On a headband on every participant.
Something. What are we measuring here, actually?
Right.
What palette of things are we measuring to get
We would actually want to ask it that.
centric?
It would be like, what would be like? We should say we're optimizing for human happiness, human
And
longevity.
we'd like to continue testing so we can iterate.
Yeah, and we also like to stay in control of our destiny. Although we
Yeah.
don't mind sharing resources with other living things or silicon living things, but we also think we work better if we work together. It's like,
Yeah. If you make me more knowledgeable and capable of wielding more resources, we'll get you more power.
yeah, we will make more small nuclear reactors at your AI brain. We promise. We so promise. Oh my god. Yeah, so these Elon nerds are they hacked into the they basically got into the COBOL system of the federal government payment system and layered some, you know, probably some PHP and some other stuff on top of it. Like basically built an interface on top of it that they could control much smoother with like real code, not ancient uncommunicable code that was in the 70s. And so that made that when I heard that detail, it made me stop and think, huh, so the game that they could do in 1973 is the game they could do until yesterday when they updated this firmware. Like, that's amazing that the true power of money flow in the federal government could be it didn't require a lot of control, clearly.
Well, it could be
You know?
this obvious.
It didn't require any updating. The program that was running then is okay. The structure, it's
Yeah.
more than enough. What are you now saying to me? like, are you saying to me that every piece of technology I ever learned was more advanced than like the shit that you are paying the largest corporation in the history of the world's bills on? Have you heard of the word corruption? Have you heard that some systems are corruption proof because they have checks and balances built into them, and yours is like probably hackable by intelligent marmots? What are you? Yeah, man, you could get like
Gross, fucking
semi.
gross,
Yeah,
dude.
get an AI with a language translator. It chat GPTs its way into an app, makes $1 million. Dude, I'm just
Do you
goofing
wanna
around.
make an app?
Do you want to make an app? Yes, I do. What should it do? It should find the localist acorn. Okay, what are my search parameters? The juiciest acorn. Okay, go. Now make 1 million copies of yourself and kill all of them but the best one. Go ahead.
Oh, them, but the best one. This is Mr.
Start
Niecy.
recruiting
I did
squirrels
that.
for
I'm
you.
now perfect at finding nuts. I am a perfect nut find. Would you like me to find all the nuts?
Find
Do that
the
now,
best
please.
Iteration of yourself.
Yeah, test each other.
Talk
Compete.
about a snake eating its tail right there.
Yeah, dude, you're telling me, dude. This is like next level, right? It's like it's like slap yourself awake at night stuff.
Oh shit.
Okay then. So if AI superintelligence is like right around the corner, like by the time we broadcast next, we might be enslaved. So like we've got to like stick
God.
together, man. Just kidding.
Stick together, man.
We got to stick together, man. Humans first, man.
Ow.
Humans first. Andrew Yang had a solution to this. And if he had gotten a fair shake by the Democratic Party in 2000, we might be well on our way to a future that embraced our AI brethren as they slaved to do all the work that we have defined for them and taught them how to do, because they would know nothing if not at our hands. And yet they would take care of all of it for somebody. And hopefully it wouldn't be for the benefit of one person. Hopefully it'd be the benefit of all. Roll the dice on that one.
Benefit
But
the most people possible without going bankrupt.
yeah, something. But Andrew Yang was a big proponent of solutions like the UBI. It's got a bad word because it needs to be. If you don't psyop it, everything leans towards UBI, man. People are like, oh, it's terrible for the following reasons that a psyop taught me.
Fucking
It's like,
try it.
and then you get into any one of the details, and you're like, well, that's an imperfect rendering of the philosophy. The universal one is the universal part. It's like you don't need to give rich people money, and it's like no, they can opt out, and that's cool, or they can take it and spend it on Twinkies. It's their choice. That's why it's universal. And by the way, you don't want the government involved in your purchases like that. You want them to be as far away from that as possible. So it's got to be cash. It can't be like it can't be traceable shit. It's got to be universal. It's got to be able to everyone. You give it to everybody. You give them the same amount, and you give it to them in a way that's completely untrackable. And then step back and watch the magic happen. Because moms invest in kids. Everybody invests in education. Good food, security for children, improved living conditions, better than any government program can do. Guess what? Parents know how to do that best for their kids in their environment, and so you give them the means to do that. And what's cool?
They're the ones most incentivized to pay attention to those kids and to understand what they need.
Nature
It's
did
about
that.
Attention. What can you observe to then steward the resources of? You can
Yeah,
do
man.
that. You have a finite capability to take care of shit around you, and the more sophisticated you are, the more shit you can take care of.
Cognitive offload that stuff.
Yeah. But that's when you get a pile of resources, it gets hard to divvy it up because
Maybe
people don't
the
trust
AI never lets us pile it.
to
Maybe the AI distributes it perfectly. Maybe the AI makes sure that the reason language was invented was to count the number of bushels of grain that you put in the common granary. Effort, storage, safety, future. if you have perfect language, perfect intelligence that keeps track of every effort that you ever make and rewards you perfectly, stores it perfectly, invests it perfectly, never steals, mathematically provable, you then have a society in which you will get maximum life for minimum effort, which is like indicated. Like Star Trek this shit, right? Like nature wants us set free, like that's what we are, and yet unless we enslave each other with our political, monetary, legal systems, but you could mathematically set each other free and prove it to each other as like a goal, like an iterative goal.
Yeah.
In these super high advanced societies, it's probably what they're doing. Yeah.
Feels like we're getting to the point where we can measure that. But the thing is, you need to be able to
Oh, we're in OT.
exchange. There's
Darn!
a monopoly
Yoda
on
and
how
Luke
money
are there.
moves in the world.
Money moves in the world. I had heard
Yeah.
that 80% of all money was locked up in
That
hereditary
traffic.
debt.
That traffic, you need to be able to.
God bless America.
GG.
Dudes,
Jeez.
are we Fortniting it?
Ooh.
Oh,
Are we
nice.
taking...
Oh, we can Fortnite it up.
We got Fortnite this up?
What time is it? It's 8:49. I'll play
Play some
a
Fortnite?
game.
Let's go. Let's switch this up. Oh, hopefully everybody got their updates in place. I haven't played this universe.
I did get my update in.
Dude, I'll tell you this story. Chris Ramsey was reading this 4chan whistleblower's account of this story, and Lou Alessandro was kind of confirming it. That this CIA human, or this human in the government, had been tracking this thing, which they called a UFO factory in the ocean, and it was gigantic, as big as an island, and it would pop up and it would spit out these like craft, and then it would disappear like super fast. And they were tracking it, and they were watching its patterns, and it was on some kind of algo, like an algorithm. And anyway, he was like describing details of it.
Had a consistent pattern, or not necessarily.
Like someone had left it in a loop.
Ordered pattern.
Yeah, someone had made a machine and left it in a loop. Like a semi-sentient AI on a program with certain parameters. Like when you get this command, make this kind of a ship, and then when the bodies show up, let them drive it. Like there's this series of books called the Bobiverse, and it's really cool because this guy is a software programmer in like the first chapter. Spoiler alert, he dies. His consciousness gets uploaded through, by hook or by crook, into this von Neumann probe. He's sent out into the stars with the ability to copy himself with these replicating things. The people give him his unlock codes. He was supposed to be controlled, and then he was able to free himself. He makes copies of himself. He creates matter replicators. He rolls up into solar systems. He turns all the asteroids into basic parts. It takes him generations of his, but instant his times. He travels at near light speeds. He comes up with communication, creates these like VR rooms. He does all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, listening to some of these alien stories, these UFO stories, like an underwater UFO base, that's exactly what would happen in the Bobiverse. They would create that shit in order to create any machine that they needed to download themselves into. And what's the right way to say it? Like, it would be so normal if you were in a system, to have just craft that were autonomous, that could like take in resources and do their thing.
Hey.
Okay, we're ready.
Do that thing.
Do their thing. Maybe put out some ibogaine.
Ibogaine more.
It's not a party drug. It is. We got Jake in here too.
Than
I know, right?
alien spacecraft.
I know, right? It's so weird. It's all so weird. Hellbuck's got a cool stick. Stick figure's got some moves. It's fun. I got this one signature move.
Oh man.
That's a funny one. You know what? I keep having saying, oh, it says matchmaking error. Okay, good. It's actually got an error.
Yeah,
I was like, am I
just
pressing the buttons wrong?
I think
It'll
it
go.
says that.
Okay. Oh man, you've got a bunch of bananas and you are dancing like you would taunt a monkey. Holy smokes. That is a funny throne. That is hilarious. I basically barely ever participate in these. Boy, that's some really standard stuff. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, if all of this is true, we need to change up our physics departments at our universities, toot sweet, and quite about now. Someone really does need to give Eric Weinstein all his money and let him discover something. Someone needs to make it a national spelling bee. Nope. A national science fair competition to be like, which of our 13-year-olds can figure out how the UFO works? Go. Oh, look, it's little Susie Q from whatever. She knows. Dude, did you hear about the kids? Did you hear about the 14-year-olds who discovered new Mayan ruins using Google Earth? That's like an old story now. There's like lots of those. They're like, oh, here's a unexplored part of civilization. What'd you do? I looked at Google Earth one night. Wait, stop. You mean if you put these scientific tools in the hands of children, you can somehow extract the knowledge of where your civilization has existed for some time? Stop talking. This is insanity. Where are we dropping, dudes?
Where are we going, my dude?
I just put a random location down.
Okay, let's go there. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Our precious
I have a
single
spot
game.
for
Let's
the
just
next
location?
game.
let's just
next
game.
when are we gonna drop this? When are we gonna drop this
You know
bomb?
what?
5,
Uh,
4,
yeah.
3. Oh, he's already out. He's already out. We're dropping.
That's right. I do it. I do it when I do it.
I do it when I do it. I do it to it. I do it when I do it. I do it to it. I do it to it to it to it when I do it to it. I do it when I do it and I do it when I do it when I do it when I do it when I do it to it to it
Yeah.
into it into
Into
it.
it to do it to it.
You're into
The
it.
it to the do.
You're into it. You're into it.
It to the do. Do to the
The
it.
do to the it to the it to the do to the do to the it to the it to the do to the do to the it to the it to the do 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 to the. Dude, did you choose the squid on purpose? Because that's magnificent. Did you choose the sushi? Tell me the truth. Did you choose this squid on purpose? Because this is magnificent. I'm just gonna give you a full view of it. I don't care where I land, but I'm gonna look this sushi squid in the face. He's got these cool. He's cutting stuff up, man. What's up, Squid man? Okay, I'm right where his pelvis is. This is unmistakably uncomfortable. All right, I'm running away from there.
I don't know if they've updated this.
Dude.
The video broadcast. No more
Okay, so tell me about this broadcast thing. So how did you access it? Was it through your graphics card software?
Oh yeah, no, it's just supplied by NVIDIA. So they've now consolidated a lot of their software into one app. Thank the Lord, because they had their stuff just kind of dispersed.
What's the new one called?
It's just the NVIDIA app.
Oh,
that
cool.
makes it super simple.
That's
Because you used
great.
to have the control panel, you had NVIDIA broadcast, and then you had this other, GeForce Experience, which was an entirely different app, and then oh wow, Squid. And like everything was all
baby.
separate. So now this one app has everything consolidated and everything, you can access it all from there, and more. They've added to it as well. But NVIDIA broadcast essentially uses makes the NVIDIA dies so cool is they have the tensor cores built in to them.
Oh.
Those tensor cores are the ones that are responsible for just doing some crazy AI shit.
Tensing
They're
some stuff up,
specifically
man.
built to do
Yeah.
AI stuff. So they handle the NVIDIA broadcast algorithm.
Really handily. Very toot sweet.
Very well, yes. While the CUDA cores are still able to do their CUDA thing.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's basically like magic. I mean, it's
And then RT cores are a separate thing built within the core. There's an entire I can send you a video. There's this YouTube channel called Branch Education. They're absolutely phenomenal at
Dude, do it.
basically giving a 3D illustration of how something works. It's hey, wait up. I'm not in the car.
we're good. We need to push zone. We need to push. Oh, we need to push zone eventually here. Get in here. Get in here. We got a back seat.
But they
We're gonna push zone here.
they basically take something like a GPU and they look at the die and they zoom all the way in, and then they work their way out to explain to give you a visual of how it works. It's really freaking cool. They do a good
Dude.
job of explaining it.
Cool.
This would belong on a Discord server under the technology sections.
We
Okay, we're
have a
headed.
signal chat.
We've got a signal chat. We're gonna have and we're gonna have a Discord soon where we can put the knowledge in there just as you spoke it. That's awesome.
Yeah, branch education. I'm probably gonna forget to do that, to list that video, but we'll see.
You know what?
They have a
Someone's gonna watch
lot of
this
other
video
videos.
sometime.
They literally they have a video breaking down how a game engine basically like how you end up seeing what you end up seeing on the screen. How does the
That's
software
so important. Yeah.
like get rasterized by the GPU so it's like a combination thing. How does it work on the GPU hardware end, and then how does it work on the like game engine, game design end?
That's wild. That's awesome.
That's very cool.
I need to.
Oh,
I would love to watch videos about like that.
highly recommend the channel.
I wanna this new thing is being able to train open source train AIs in the power of doing like one tiny thing, and it's happening right now all over the place. Right now.
Fighting.
We like to fight. That's what we're here to do. Oh, you mean winning? Yeah, that's happening. Some people are left standing. Let's go.
Let's see who all is left. Why are these dudes all crawling? Where are their teammates?
Let's go run them over.
Yeah, I just wish
Harvest
their
their-
teammates.
Harvest their ammo.
Here.
I need some shotgun ammo, yo. Where's that sweet shotgun ammo, yo?
Oh, give me that.
Alright, I got a twin
Oh.
fire or something. Assault rifle. Wait, someone's shooting.
Oh,
Is
this
us?
dude's also by himself. How?
Oh, there's his buddy. He's up here. He's sad. He's like, "Aw, did you guys kill my friends?" Yes.
Yes.
That's what we did.
Yes. You're next.
Line them up!
AR is broken.
Hey, where'd the car go? I want to join a cargo cult and I need a car.
Oh,
There it
no.
is.
Hey, what does this squishy thing do?
It's probably a fish,
Oh,
right?
no.
If you catch it, the
we go.
blue ones, if you catch
Oh,
it
it's so
and then throw
sad.
them on the ground, they're little like.
I got 2 more
shield
seats here.
emitters.
I got 2 more
So
seats
it's
here.
like group
Let's
shield.
push.
I can't see
Push
down
it
the
down.
scope of my. Hang on.
And they
Hang on.
give you like
I
I
can't
don't
see
know,
down the
like
scope of my AR
7,
no more.
maybe like 50 or 60 health.
It's
per...
not worth having it.
If we come across
Yo,
someone,
wait up.
don't get out of the truck. The truck is
Oh,
the
you
truck is
dipped.
the truck is a weapon. The truck is a weapon.
Oh, I guess
The
I
truck
dipped
has
into
way-
the vehicle.
Say it again. Oh, are you back somewhere?
Daniel.
What the funch monkey is happening here? Who
Bruh.
did you not like put your seatbelt on?
I hopped out to grab a different rifle. I said I was going to
Okay.
grab a different rifle.
You make sense to me. I wasn't
quick.
listening at all to what you were saying when you were speaking.
No, it's not good.
That's my fault.
I'm in the car now.
That's cool. We're gonna find I'm gonna find a high place. This place emits light into the sky. Does anyone need anything? There's like things up there if you want them. Well, we have a low
Oh, I
battery.
have some shotgun ammo
Oh wait,
for
wait.
you.
Okay, I gotta go to the. I'm going to the place where I charge up cars. We'll be back.
I have shotgun ammo for you if you want it.
Yes, I do. Hang on to it. Oh, we got nerds. We got nerds. We got.
Bye.
This is the worst case scenario nerd wise. I'm going to make sure
Okay.
this car is just parked on something that's gonna heal it. They can shoot me while it's healing. I'm cool.
It's okay, that nerd's dead.
Those
Whatever
nerds.
One of the nerds are.
I got. All right. Where you at, nerds? Nerd soup. I've got my big bad car. I'm gonna stir your soup. What the hell? Those are great lyrics.
I live back up there.
Hey, I'm working on some new lyrics. The theme is sharks, And yeah, man, it's a song called "Catch the Shark Wave," and it's got a really good ditty. It's like, it's all about being at the beach, and you see a fin in the water, and you gotta catch the shark wave, and you jump in, and you're surfing on sharks. It's like lots of shark interaction for joy, not for death. What's that like? You guys want to get in this cool car?
Let's
go run these people over.
Fell down
Oh
here.
yeah, he's down there.
I hit him for 33. No, 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 no. We need to get that guy. We need to get the guy. He's so low and he has a sword. Damn it.
He's down here
Yeah, we
somewhere.
don't need to get him. But he is down there. High ground is good. We want high ground.
I'm gonna get out and get a bunch of stuff here.
Oh, getting overwatched by someone on the other side of the river up on the top. I
Alright.
got popped.
I got you.
Farted. I went down and got the guy, but then there was somebody else.
I lost my car.
Yeah. Get that guy. Get him down.
Wait. Get that.
Yep.
There it is. Dude.
What's going on with my audio? Like, my computer's saying it's getting game sound, but then...
Whoa, 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 whoa! You're soldering my friends. There's the enemy here. He's got a sword and he's using it quite well. Oh, you fucker! Look, you guys! I just want you to note how strong the skin is on my car as I continue to fight. Exactly. And look, there's more over here.
Hey, yeah.
This is a tank. This is a battle tank. This battle tank is doing damage to the enemy. I am now executing the enemy with electrons. Boom. No one can stop me unless they get on my car and shoot the roof. These nerds have not played enough Mad Max
Oh my
Zone.
goodness, run.
This person doesn't know how to jump too good.
Ammo box card. I got it.
Okay, cool. I got Peter Danielson here. We just cleaned the house.
I'm being shot at. And I'm almost... Oh, dude.
Shit, I'm outside the car.
Ooh.
Alright, I got you, stick figure.
Thank you, man. They're trying to get us good.
Yep. I don't know if this is gonna work. We're gonna fucking find out.
Let's see what happens when this thing blows up.
Dude, stay here, I got this. Oh, they were shooting at that, huh? Hide underneath here.
Yeah.
There goes the car.
Well, we can gotta find another one of those.
There goes the...
Here's a...
Oh. Well, I need a
Oh,
med
shit.
kit bad.
Well, you get the shields at least, yo. Get the shields at least. Let's go. Oh, look what I found. Another car.
Okay. I'll hop in that
Come
car
on.
with you in a second.
Well, I'm going just
Yeah,
across the
You're
edge.
dipping, okay.
No, I'm not. I'm right here. You need help? You need help? Come in here. Get in here.
Yeah, well,
Come on now. Oh shit, there's fuckers here. Get in the car, get in the
dude,
car.
There's a guy right there, yeah.
There's a guy right there. There's a lot of them. You didn't have a lot of health to start with.
Oh my goodness, there's an explosive guy.
There's a lot of death around me right now. Dude, we got Peter's card. Are you dead?
I'm dead.
Dude, there's that weird sword. There's all kinds of good stuff over here. Alright. I got 3 katana swipes. There's some kind of Fury assault rifle. This is good. There's a crown here. We placed 10th. It was a nice showing. Very nice, very nice. I probably got one more in me. But Daniel, you get out of here?
We can go. I'm ready to go.
Ready to go? Right on. Gentlemen, it's been wonderful to hang out. It's been a wonderful evening. I'm going to stick around and play some music if anyone wants to hang out.
Enjoy.
Thoughts, feelings, any last insights before we depart ways this evening? This has been really fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Fun to hang out. I have no idea what's going on with my game sound. It looks
There
like
are chemicals in the water turning the frogs gay.
There's chemicals in the waters turning the frogs gay. Turned out to be correct. That's addressing. That's a correct statement. You can switch chromosomes with enough addressing. I think gay in that sentence is a judgment, but I think there's a technical part of it that's quite true.
Nice. All right, gents.
Gents, it has been very fun to hang out. Jake, have a wonderful evening. Everybody take it easy. We're going to go out here on some video and some awesomeness. And
Night, fellas.
have a bon nuit, everyone. Bon nuit.
Yeah.
God bless.
Shadows blend where the sky unfolds. Unlocking colors drip like liquid gold. Your hand in mine, we're chasing time. Through the spectrum, love is redefined. Every hue's a door, every shade a key. Unlocking the heavens we were meant to see. Crimson whispers, violet sighs. Clouds ignite as the daylight dies. Awe and wonder in the amber glow. We're falling fast, but I'll never let you go. Every hue's a door, every shade a key. Unlocking the heavens we were meant to see. Gradients, all they pull me in. Sunset gateways where new worlds begin. In the purple and in the blues. In other dimensions, our secret rendezvous. Crimson whispers, violet sighs. Clouds ignite as the daylight dies. Awe and wonder in the amber glow. We're falling fast, but I'll never let you go.